Hey, it's Cheryl. Welcome to Homebridge Studio. Today's video is all about wreaths, and I have 4 different ones to share with you. So let's waste no time and start crafting. Here's the first one. I made this one for my daughter. She wanted a chocolate bunny candy wreath, and this is what I came up with for her. I have this little bunny. I bought it from the Dollar Tree. And they only had one left. I was hoping they would have more because they're so cute and I know I can do a lot with them, but I was lucky to have one. We're going to turn him into a chocolate bunny. So I removed the tags and I have this Waverly chalk paint in the color Truffle, and it resembles chocolate to me. And so now I have this dabber sponge and I'm just going to dab it all over this bunny. And I did have to let this dry overnight because it was pretty saturated. But you have to get into all the little fuzzies of the bunny there. And that's how he turned out. Now I have this wreath form. I believe I got it on clearance. I don't remember where, probably like Michael's or Joann's. I have this deco mesh from the Dollar Tree, the pink, the purple, and this beautiful yellow, purple, and pink color. I just love this, and I knew it just kind of reminded me of candy in Easter time, so I knew I had to use that. I didn't have any yellow, but I thought the pink and the purple and then one of these in the middle, scrunched up all together, would be perfect. So these are about 8 inches long, I believe. And so I cut the pink and the purple about 8 inches. And then this one is going to go in the center. And that one is a little bit longer, like 10 inches. So I believe I made 4 of those, and then I'm just going to zip tie it right onto the wreath form. I didn't even tie it or anything. I just zip tied it right on the form because we're going to cover that up anyway. And so you just take one side and scrunch it up, and the other side and scrunch it up. And you do that with all 3 pieces, and then you put them together, and I put one across from each other. And that's what that looks like. I'm trying to figure out, do I want my bunny straight or sideways? I think sideways. Now I have these eggs and the vase filler from the Dollar Tree, and I'm taking out the same colors that I have in the ribbon. So it's purple, yellow, and pink. And so I'm going to glue an egg on right over that zip tie so you really can't see it. And then when you fluff the ribbon up, or the deco mesh up, you can't see it at all. So I pulled the bow off, and then I'm just gluing the eggs around. So I used 2 yellow on the diagonal and then just 1 pink and 1 purple. I didn't want this whole wreath form to be full of deco mesh. I really wanted to kind of show the brown in there too. And now I'm taking the bows and I'm putting them right back on the egg, but instead of on top, I'm putting them right in the middle. And this vase filler is from the Dollar Tree, and I think it's in the party section. And then I have these plastic bags. They're also from the Dollar Tree, the clear ones. And I just cut them up into like a little square that was twice the size of these little vase filler balls. And I took the same colors that match the eggs and the ribbon, or the deco mesh. So the yellow, the pink, and the purple, and I took the very large ones and I just wrapped that cellophane around them, and then I just tied it off. And I wanted to make a bow, but it was just too little, and I have coordinating ribbon there too that I actually got that from Hobby Lobby. So I made a whole bunch of them, and I'm going to put them in 3s all the way around the wreath in between the deco mesh. And I actually put 6 of them down where I'm gluing them right now, there's 6, so 2 of each color, because that's where I'm going to place the bunny too. And if you notice where I place the deco mesh bows, they're kind of on a diagonal. They're not straight across from each other because there's a bow that's going to go on top, and that is the ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and it matches perfectly. And I just wrapped it around itself 3 or 4 times. Let's see, 4, maybe 5 times. And then I undid it because I thought it was too small, so I made it a little bit bigger. Did the same thing, just wrapping it around. So I wanted it to be the length of the wreath form on top that's not covered. And then I just took it and tied it in the middle. Oh, I put a couple little notches in it. I don't usually like to do the notches because for some reason I just cut them too much into the... I don't know. I just don't like what it looks like. I know that you can hide it, but for me it just never works. So sometimes I just tie it really, really tight. So I have this jute here, and I have a big long piece of jute, and I'm tying that. And now I'm making tails. I just took a big piece of ribbon and I dovetailed it on both ends. And now I'm just going to tie it with that big piece of jute that's still hanging off the bow. And it's nice because this is wired ribbon too, so you can kind of, it's, you know, you can kind of play with it a little bit. And I'm just fluffing out the bow a little bit here. And now I'm just going to tie it to the top of the wreath. And now I have some more of these little candy pieces, and I'm just going to glue a bunch of them in the middle. And now, I didn't show you this. Okay, well, first I'm gluing this bunny on there, but I tied that yellow ribbon around its neck because I wanted it to look like, you know, those chocolate bunnies that you see at the store. That's what I was trying to mimic. So I took that puffy paint from the Dollar Tree, or the fabric paint, and I made 2 little eyes, and that I thought it looked possessed. Every time I looked at it, I'm like, oh, this is creepy. So I removed the paint, and I found just one little teeny light gold gem in my stash, and I just glued it on, and so it only has one eye, and you can only see it from the side, and I think it looks much better this way. And this is how it turned out, and I love it. I gave it to my daughter reluctantly. I'm like, I want this wreath, but she likes it a lot. So I love it when people challenge me and say, hey, can you do this? And I try to figure out a way. So here's my second idea. Everybody has carrot wreath forms. I was trying to figure out something different to do. This is not super different, but it's a little bit, and I had this from last year and I wanted to use it. So I was trying to clip that wire, and it was just too thick and too sturdy, so I had to go get my husband's heavy duty wire cutters, and I was still having a hard time with this. I didn't want to break the wreath form, but I had to keep going back and forth, as you can see here, and I left this in here to show you. It wasn't easy. But I clipped both of those kind of straight pieces off, not the jagged ones, right in the middle, because I'm going to put beads on one side and beads on the other side, and then I'm going to glue the beads together, and that will hold the wire together. And that beaded garland is from the Dollar Tree. I bought, like, I don't know, they have 3 different kinds, I think. I bought like 4 of each of them, and I still have the 4 of them because I never used them last year, so I was glad to be using them. Okay, so now I flip this around, and as you can see, I'm gluing the beads to each other. And I'm doing the same thing to that second row there. I wish I could have done it on the other wires that are kind of like jagged, but I didn't think that would turn out real well. And I didn't want to clip it and then ruin it and then say, oh, okay, this isn't working. So I just put it on these, but I think it turned out really nice. So I have this orange deco mesh from the Dollar Tree. And what I'm doing is kind of tapering it at the bottom and kind of gluing it. And then now, because it's so thin, you can see through it, and I did not want to see the wire in the carrot. I'm just kind of like twisting it and gluing it onto the wire and then gluing it onto itself also. So kind of overlapping it a couple times. And then when I get up to the beads, I kind of fold it under, and then I turn it around and I glue it right to the beads in the back. Because it doesn't matter the back if you see the beads or not, just as long as obviously you can see them in the front. And I cut it off there and then glued it. I did this in 3 separate pieces. And same thing, I'm just gluing this onto the wire. And then turning it around and gluing it onto the beads in the back of the wreath form. And then I thought it was kind of, I don't know, I didn't want to pull it apart, so I took those little clips from the Dollar Tree. I use those things all the time. They're the best thing ever, I swear. So I just clipped it to hold that material on there so I didn't knock it off when I was, you know, working it. So that's what it looks like. And now I have this green mesh, the same thing as the orange. And what I'm doing is I'm just gathering it, kind of pinching it at the bottom so it's fluffy on top, but it's like really tight at the bottom. And I just kind of, I don't know what you like, turned it, twisted it, and then took a piece of jute and then tied it really tight at the bottom to hold that together. And then I tied it onto the wreath form. And then I hot glued it too. I hot glued it to the wreath form in the back, and you'll see that in a minute. And now I'm making a hanger for it. And that thing was not cooperating with me. I was trying not to glue that hanger there, and it kept flipping over more times than what I showed you here. I have this from the Dollar Tree last year also, and I'm just taking the beads off there, and I'm wrapping a little piece of tape around the jute, and I'm just putting some beads on there. I wasn't sure kind of what I was going to do, so I was kind of playing around with it. And if you are a subscriber, I want to take this time out to tell you, you are awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. And if you're not a subscriber and you're visiting, welcome to my channel, Wreaths Studio. I'm Cheryl, and I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button, because it totally helps me out. It helps me out a ton, and it's totally free. And if you tap the notification bell, you'll be notified every time I post a new video. And this is the kind of stuff I do. And my next video is probably going to be a thrift flip. That's coming up on the 16th. Anyway, back to this. I was just kind of playing with the beads. I took them apart and put 2 black ones, a white one, and then 2 black ones. Then I took that little tin tag. You get them in a pack from the Dollar Tree. And I put that little carrot from that beaded garland on there. Super easy. And I just tied it onto the carrot. And now I have these picks And they're from the Dollar Tree too, and they have these shiny leaves that I just never know what to do with the shiny leaves. I like the picks, the little balls on them, but I thought that this would just give it like kind of a pop of color and a little bit of definition. And here's the finished product. And that is it for number 2. And this is the third one. And now I have a friend who is a guy, and he wanted a wreath for his apartment door, and he loves trucks, and he wanted a blue one, so he challenged me too and said, here, figure it out. So this is what I'm putting together. Now I got this from Joann Fabrics at the end of the season, like last year, and it was like, I don't know, 80% off or something. So I probably paid like $1 for it or something. And it came with all these different pieces. So on the back of the truck, there's that ridge there, and you can just pop those in there. But I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to make like I wanted to make a spring wreath, but not like, you know, one with bunnies and eggs and all that in there. So it was kind of challenging. I thought, I'm not going to do the red truck. I'm going to do a blue truck, and I'm going to do it kind of monochromatic. And so I got all of this paint in different colors of grays and blues and a black and silver and white. And I put a whole bunch of colors in my paint tray there, and I'm just kind of playing around with, you know, what colors that I wanted to use. And I'm just kind of distressing it and just painted that up. I actually painted it about 3 different times. I'm so picky. Anyway, now I'm just going to take this ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to wrap the frame with it because we're going to put flowers on it, and I need the flowers to something to adhere them to. So that's why I wrapped that. And I thought it kind of matched that taupey color of the truck there. It's kind of like a gray taupe on the truck. And I knew I had all these blue flowers, and they're from the Dollar Tree, and these are hydrangeas, and I had them from last year. I thought they were really pretty, although I don't know if there's really blue hydrangeas out there. I have some, and mine are pink. I love them, but anyway, I'm babbling. I picked them up, and I thought this would be perfect to try to do kind of a little bit of a monochromatic blues for him. And so I always clip my flowers off and the leaves off, and I put the flowers on, and then I add the leaves in afterwards. And these are called dahlias, and they are from the Dollar Tree. I think they're beautiful, that beautiful blue color. Threw a bunch of those on there, and I left the hole or the space on top open because, of course, we're going to put a ribbon there. And so I'm adding these here and there on the sides of the dark blue. I'm putting the light blue and just a couple little daisies here and there just to give it a pop of like brightness, spring. And I just hot glued that. He lives in an apartment, it's inside. And now I thought this bow was going to look really cool with the 2 different kinds of deco mesh. And when I put it on there, I'll show you in a minute, I hated it. Everybody else that looked at it was like, yeah, no, something's not right with that. But I'm going to show you what I did. I removed that, and I have this bow. I love this, and this is all from the Dollar Tree, the ribbon. And I just made a bow, and I didn't film it. I'm sorry. And then I put like a little teeny raffia bow in the middle, and I threw some raffia in the back of the truck, and a couple little sprigs of greenery back there. And now this wreath is requested from my mom. And I did the same thing, the large wreath form from the Dollar Tree. I wrapped it in green because I knew that I was going to put this greenery bush around it. And I have 4 of those, and I have some wire from the Dollar Tree, floral wire. And now I'm just going to pop those together. See how I took the ends together and I kind of butted them up. And this floral wire is perfect for this project because it's so thin and you can't see it at all. So I just went around the whole wreath and wired it probably every couple inches. Because this greenery, which I love, and if you find this, this is beautiful. You can use this on so many projects. I only have like 6 of them, and I've already used them all. So I might have like a little bit left, but yeah, if I find some more of this, I'm gonna pick it up because this is definitely very versatile. And so now I'm taking the top, the thinner ones, and I'm butting those up to each other. And you can see what I'm doing here. And this is just simple, just wiring it around and making sure that it's all evenly dispersed. My mom wanted peach. I took her to the Dollar Tree with me the other day and I put some picks together and she's like, oh yes, I love that color. So I'm just putting a bunch of these peach colored roses all around the wreath. Easy peasy. And I'm just gluing them on. I did leave probably like an inch of the stem on the bottom of the rose, just so you can kind of poke them in there, and then the glue will hold on to the greenery and also the burlap underneath. And these are dahlias too. They're the little teeny gold ones, and I think these are flower or fall picks, but they had a bunch of them. So I picked these up because you can use these in a lot of projects too. They're more of a neutral color. And I just grouped 3 of them together. And then I have the little teeny roses, those little plastic ones there from the Dollar Tree. And they have like that little peach and that little yellow in there. And I thought this is just perfect. So I kind of scattered them, put one in the middle of the little yellow dahlias, and then scattered them in between all the roses, just to give it a little bit of delicacy. And then I found that from the Dollar Tree. They only had 1 of those left, and I wish they would have had more because I would have got 2, but this bunny is so super cute. You can make so many different things. Yeah, I saw somebody else do this too. Don't pull that ribbon off because it pulls the paper right off the bunny. So I had to just take it and glue it back, and then figure, now I've got this blemish on this bunny. Now what am I going to do? So I did make a different bow and kind of scooted it up more up like to the top of the bunny's face. And now I have this thing. This is my husband's. As you can see his leg there on the left hand upper side. He's watching me do this. He's in fear of me poking this. No, not through the table, through my hand, because he's probably seen me do similar things like this before. I'm always hurting myself. He's over there saying, be careful, be careful. I do have this video speeded up a little bit, but yeah, I'm like, go away. See, he walked away. I'm like, I'll be fine. So anyway, I poked a hole in there, and I don't know why I didn't use my punch, but I didn't. I wanted to wire this right onto the wreath, and because this is going to go on her front door. So, but we live in Michigan, so it doesn't usually get real hot, and I don't think the sun ever beats on her front door either, so we get a little worried about that glue melting too. But yeah, so I just poked a hole in the front and the back and then wired it on, and I actually wired it up through the little hole on the top of the bunny, on like the ear there, just to make sure he wasn't going to go anywhere. And now I'm just making a simple bow. I'm not the best bow maker in the world. I try. I kind of watch tutorials and stuff. I do have an easy bow maker too, and for some reason I don't use it too often, but it works really well. I always try to wing this myself. And I guess there's many different ways that you can make bows too. And really it's all about fluffing it out. and getting tails and, you know, dovetailing them and stuff like that, and putting like a little jewel or a bead in the middle or a button or something. And I have a little rose that I put in the middle of that. And later on, when I was going through my ribbon stash, I found some really beautiful burlap ribbon with peach colored lace running through it. And so I used that for the tails in the bottom of this, and I put some more burlap. Took just a long piece, folded in half, dovetailed them, and put about 4 pieces, as you can see, around the wreath. So there's 2 on top and then 2 of those on the bottom and the side. And this is what it looks like on her front door. And that is all. So let me know which one is your favorite one. I don't know. I really like them all. They're very, very different, each and every one of them. And subscribe if you haven't, and give me a big thumbs up. Like my video if you do. And I'll be back very soon with another spring DIY video and a thrift flip, the thrift flip road trip. Anyway, you guys have an amazing day, an amazing week, and I will see you very soon. Bye.